Most men over 60 own sweaters. Almost none of them wear sweaters that actually work for their age, their build, or their life today. And that one gap in the wardrobe quietly undercuts everything else in the outfit, no matter how sharp the rest of the pieces are. It's not the sweater's fault, it's the combination around it. Wear it wrong and you look like you're hiding under a pile of fabric. Wear it right and you look like a man who is fully in control of his image. That difference alone shapes how people read your presence before you even say a word. On this channel, we focus on classic menswear and practical style for men who want to look sharp, masculine, and respected. No trends, no noise, just what actually works for real life, day after day, for real bodies, and for men who don't have time to overthink getting dressed. Today I'm giving you 5 sweater combinations every man over 60 should have ready in his closet. Simple, repeatable pairings that upgrade almost any outfit instantly without buying a single trendy piece. These are pairings you can build in minutes, using pieces you likely already own. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to layer, what to skip, and how to build a small sweater rotation that actually earns its place in your closet instead of collecting dust. No guesswork, no wasted purchases, just 5 combinations that actually earn their spot in rotation. The crewneck sweater is the most forgiving piece in your entire closet, and yet most men over 60 still manage to get the pairing wrong, wearing it exactly the same way they did 20 years ago. This one habit alone is quietly responsible for more outdated outfits than any single piece of clothing. Here's the part nobody talks about. A crewneck worn over a plain t-shirt looks unfinished, almost lazy. It's missing the one detail that gives the whole outfit its structure and intention. It leaves the whole silhouette flat, with no visual layering to give the eye anywhere to rest. The fix is simple. Wear the crewneck sweater over a collared shirt, letting the collar peek out cleanly at the neck. Instantly, the outfit looks deliberate instead of accidental. That single strip of fabric at the neckline is doing more work than people realize. Picture this. You're heading to a casual lunch with old friends. A navy crewneck over a light blue Oxford shirt, clean chinos underneath. Nothing loud, nothing forced, just quietly sharp. The whole outfit reads composed before you've even sat down at the table. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They throw the sweater on alone and call the outfit finished, but the collar underneath is exactly what gives the whole look its structure and polish. It's a small omission with an outsized effect on how finished the outfit looks. Pair the combination with tapered chinos in a neutral tone and finish it off with loafers or clean leather sneakers. Not sloppy casual, not overdressed, just clean, controlled casual. The bottom half needs to match the intention you've already built up top. The color pairing matters just as much as the layering. Stick to one neutral sweater tone, navy, oatmeal, or charcoal, worn over a lighter collared shirt. Contrast without noise or clutter. Too much contrast competes for attention. Too little feels flat and undefined. This sounds small, but it changes everything about how the outfit reads. Suddenly there are layers, there's structure, and there's a clear point of focus, your face and your shoulders. The eye now has a clear path to follow, from collar to shoulder to face. Takeaway: a crew neck without a collar underneath is an unfinished outfit. Add the shirt, keep the colors controlled, and the whole combination instantly looks deliberate and put together. It's a 5-second decision that pays off every single time you make it. The V-neck sweater has a reputation problem among men over 60. Too many wore it back in the 90s without giving it any real thought, and that memory still lingers, even though the piece itself hasn't changed. That memory sticks around far longer than the sweater itself ever should. Here's the truth nobody says out loud. A V-neck done right is one of the sharpest layering pieces you can own. Done wrong, worn loose and alone, it looks dated within seconds. The difference between the two comes down entirely to what's underneath. The mistake most men make is wearing it too loose, with the V sitting too low, exposing far too much shirt underneath, or worse, exposing the chest with nothing underneath at all. Either mistake pulls attention away from your face and onto loose, shapeless fabric. The fix is a slightly fitted V-neck, worn over a crisp button-down shirt, buttoned high enough that only a hint of collar and placket shows through the neckline. That small sliver of visible shirt is what separates sharp from sloppy. Picture this. You're dressing for a semi-formal dinner, a charcoal V-neck over a white shirt, dark tailored trousers, and the whole look reads composed and put together the moment you walk in. Nobody in the room questions whether you thought about what you're wearing. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They treat the V-neck as a standalone piece instead of what it actually is, a layering tool designed to work with something underneath it. On its own, it's just a sweater. Layered correctly, it's a full outfit. Add a blazer over the top for colder months, and suddenly you've got a look that works for dinner, a family gathering, even a relaxed business setting without changing a single piece. One piece, two completely different levels of formality, no extra shopping required. Keep the color palette controlled throughout. One dark sweater, one light shirt, one neutral trouser. That's the entire formula, and it never fails to look intentional. 3 rolls, 3 colors, and the whole thing reads intentional instead of random. Takeaway, the V-neck itself isn't outdated. The way most men wear it is. Layer it with intention, keep it fitted, and it becomes one of the sharpest pieces in your entire wardrobe. Fitted, layered, and controlled. That's the version worth actually wearing. The shawl collar cardigan is one of the most underused pieces in a man's wardrobe after 60, and honestly, that's a mistake most men don't even realize they're making. It sits in the closet untouched for years while men reach for the same tired crew neck. Here's the part nobody talks about. This piece carries a weight and a texture that a regular sweater simply doesn't have, and that texture does a lot of the work for you. That texture does more visual work than color or pattern ever could. Most men either avoid it completely, assuming it looks old-fashioned, or they wear it with the wrong pieces underneath. And unfortunately, that version really does look old-fashioned. There's no middle ground with this piece, only right or noticeably wrong. The fix is paring it down, not up. A plain crew tee underneath, dark jeans, clean boots. Suddenly the cardigan reads as rugged and lived in instead of fussy or costume-like, down, not up. That's the entire secret to making this piece feel current. Picture this, a Saturday morning coffee run through the neighborhood. Charcoal cardigan, white tee, dark denim, brown boots. Effortless, relaxed, but never careless or thrown together. Every detail here says relaxed weekend, not costume from another decade. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They button the cardigan all the way up and wear it like a blazer. That single choice kills the relaxed, confident appeal the piece is built for. Structure has its place, but this isn't it. And buttoning it up proves that instantly. Leave it open or button just the middle. Let it hang naturally on your frame. That's exactly what gives it a lived-in, confident look instead of something stiff and overly formal. A cardigan that hangs naturally always reads more confident than one pinned shut. Texture is your friend here. A chunky knit set against a smooth cotton tee creates a contrast that reads as intentional and thoughtful, not accidental or mismatched. That contrast is subtle, but it's exactly what separates thoughtful from thrown together. Takeaway, the shawl cardigan works best worn loose, open, and low-key. Dress it down instead of up, and it becomes one of the most effortlessly masculine pieces you own. Loose, open, low-key. Remember those 3 words, and this piece never lets you down. The turtleneck intimidates a lot of men over 60. It feels formal, restrictive, maybe even a little theatrical. But in reality, it doesn't have to be any of those things at all. That hesitation keeps a genuinely flattering piece sitting untouched in the closet. Here's the part nobody talks about. A fine merino turtleneck is actually one of the most flattering pieces available to an older man's frame if it's chosen and worn correctly. Most men have simply never tried the right weight or the right fit to notice. It elongates the neckline, cleans up the overall silhouette, and removes the need for a tie entirely, all without sacrificing any of the polish a formal outfit usually requires. Two problems solved with one piece, and neither requires any extra effort. The mistake most men make is pairing it with something equally heavy on top, like a bulky sweater or a thick overcoat, which ends up making the whole outfit look stiff and oversized. Bulk stacked on bulk is never the answer, no matter how cold it gets outside. The fix is to keep it thin, a fine-gauge merino, and layer a structured blazer directly over it. Wool trousers underneath, finished with a clean pair of derby shoes. Thin underneath, structured on top. That's the entire winning formula here. Picture this. A dinner invitation where no tie is required, black turtleneck, charcoal blazer, tailored trousers. You walk in looking composed and deliberate without trying too hard at all. No tie to fuss with, no collar to adjust, just clean lines from neck to shoulder. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They assume turtlenecks are only for younger men. In reality, the clean neckline often suits an older, more defined face even better. A defined jawline and a clean neckline actually work in your favor here, not against you. Keep the color palette dark and controlled throughout. Black, navy, or charcoal turtlenecks pair naturally with almost any blazer color you already own, so nothing new is required. Nothing new to buy, just a smarter way to use the blazers already hanging in your closet. Takeaway: a fine turtleneck worn under a blazer is quiet confidence in its purest form. No tie, no fuss, just complete control over how you're perceived the moment you walk in. It's the kind of outfit that photographs well and feels effortless to wear. The quarter-zip sweater is the most versatile piece on this entire list, but most men over 60 only ever wear it one single way, and it gets boring and outdated looking fast. The same 5 pieces, worn the same 5 ways, stop working long before you notice. Here's the part nobody talks about. A quarter zip isn't reserved for the golf course. Worn correctly, it moves easily between casual weekend wear and genuine smart casual settings. That single shift in mindset opens up an entire second use for the piece. The mistake is wearing it alone over a plain t-shirt, with the zip left half open and absolutely no structure underneath to hold the whole look together. Half a zip and no collar reads as unfinished, not relaxed, every single time. The fix is a collared polo underneath, with the zip pulled up to about 3/4, so the collar sits clean and visible right at the neckline. That extra half-inch of visible collar is the entire difference in how it reads. Picture this: a weekend outing with friends. Olive quarter zip, navy polo underneath, tan chinos. Sharp, relaxed, and completely put together without a single extra effort. Every piece here is doing double duty, sporty and put together at once. This is where most men get it completely wrong. They treat it as pure athletic wear and forget entirely that, styled correctly, it can look genuinely refined and intentional. That assumption alone keeps a genuinely useful piece stuck in one narrow lane. Stick to muted tones, olive, navy, gray, and avoid anything with heavy branding or bold logos across the chest. Simplicity is what reads as confidence every single time. A blank chest reads considerably more expensive than one covered in branding. Takeaway: the quarter zip works hardest when it's layered over a visible collar. That one small detail is the difference between looking athletic and looking genuinely sharp. One visible collar, one small choice, and the whole outfit levels up instantly. Now here's the part that quietly ties every single combination together, and it has nothing to do with color, texture, or style at all. It's fit, and fit changes everything. Skip this step and every other styling decision in this video loses its impact. A sweater that's too big collapses your shoulders and hides your entire frame underneath it. A sweater that's too tight does the exact opposite, exposing everything you were trying to smooth out. Somewhere between those two extremes is the fit that actually works for your frame. The rule is simple. The shoulder seam should sit right at your natural shoulder line, not drooping halfway down your arm, and not pulling tight and strained across it either. This single seam placement decides whether the sweater flatters or fights your shoulders. The body of the sweater should skim your frame, not cling to it. You should be able to comfortably pinch about an inch of fabric at the chest, no more, no less. Anything looser than that starts to read as borrowed rather than owned. The length should cover your waistband cleanly without bunching up at the hips. Too short looks cropped and awkward. Too long looks like you're borrowing someone else's clothes. That length line matters more than most men ever stop to consider. This sounds small, but it genuinely changes everything. Get the fit right, and any one of these 5 combinations instantly looks far more expensive than it actually is. A $10 tailoring fix can outperform an expensive sweater bought in the wrong size. At the end of the day, this was never about owning more sweaters. It's about owning 5 that actually work, in the right fit, styled in the right combination every single time. 5 sweaters, worn well, will always outperform 15 worn carelessly. A well-dressed man over 60 doesn't need an overflowing closet. He needs a small, reliable rotation he can reach for without thinking twice and still know it will look sharp. That's the entire goal, less deciding, more simply getting dressed and moving on with the day. So here's a simple question for you. Which of these 5 combinations are you missing from your closet right now? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. I'll pick a few answers and cover them properly in a future video. And if you want straightforward, no-nonsense style advice made for men who value confidence over trends, go ahead and subscribe. That's exactly what this channel is built for. New videos go up regularly, all built around the same practical approach. In the next video, I'll show you the right way to wear a chino after 60, the fit, the length, and the small mistakes that are quietly aging your entire outfit without you even realizing it. Same principles, same no-nonsense approach, just applied to a completely different piece.